Hey, what's up you guys? I hope you guys are doing well, and today I just wanted to make a video about my experience getting my first tattoo.
What did he say?
Let's get into it. When did I get my first tattoo? So I'm sure if you guys have been checking out the community tab of my YouTube channel, you guys will know that I got my first tattoo around the first week of July. And I just have to say it was quite the fun experience that I envisioned. For some of you guys who might know me, I love Japanese culture, I love Japanese history. And yes, I am an otaku. I watch a lot of animes growing up, but I have to say that I was watching a documentary. I highly recommend. It's called Age of Samurai, Battle for Japan. It's a documentary of feudal Japan.
1551. Japan is in chaos. Anarchy reigns as heavily armed warlords fight for power and territory.
You have the men who are going to shape the destiny of Japan coming together. Oda Nobunaga, Toyotomi Hideyoshi, Masamune, and Tokugawa Ieyasu.
Samurai combat is more brutal than anyone can imagine.
The real battle for Japan was about to begin.
It's a great documentary. I would say one of the beginning inspiration of me wanting to get a tattoo. I can pinpoint it to that specific moment in time. And while watching that, I was inspired. I was inspired by the different characters, historical figures within the documentary, whether that's the great Oda Nobunaga, Hideyoshi, or Tokugawa, the three unifiers of Japan. I was watching that and I got inspired to get some Japanese inspirational tattoo. Tattoo has been, as a young person, one of the things that I envisioned myself getting. So I decided at the age of 25 years old, now is the time to get a tattoo. I know that tattoos in Japan are a little bit of a taboo thing with the older generation, but I noticed that the younger generation has really embraced it, and it's more of now not really a gang member affiliation, but just a more of a artistic way of expressing yourself. I love the arts. For me, I've always considered myself an artistic person. But going back to the tattoo, sometime in April or March, I contacted a person that I found his artwork, and I really, really love his style. For me personally, I'm not a big fan of colors and tattoos. I'm a bit of a traditionalist myself, more of a traditional aesthetic. These are some of his work that he worked on. As you can see, a lot of them are grounded in black and gray, realism, and I really like that. I really dig it. Now, tattoo artists that I talked to, if you guys want his link, I'll have it in the description below and where you guys can support and check him out. Shout out to Tommy. Thank you, brother, for your amazing work on my arm, and it was a great time meeting you and a great experience overall, I would say. I would highly recommend you checking him out. Coming from a Asian background, I made my appointment, and no, I did not tell my parents. I did not tell my mom or my dad. I have parents who are a bit older. My dad in his 70s, my mom in her 70s. But my sisters knew. I'm the youngest in my family, and I told them I wanted to get a tattoo. I just told my parents that I wanted to go to Canada and I wanted to have a good time and travel, being a young adult. And originally, actually, I planned on going with a friend. And mind you, I made the reservation 3 months in advance in March to go during 4th of July, booked the Airbnb, took care of everything 3 months in advance. About a week or two before going to the trip, my friend that I had told me that he wasn't available. And you know who you are, bro.
Oh, the deception!
The betrayal, man. You deceived me.
It's one of my best friends, and man, I was pissed. Try to plan, and that's my personality. I try to plan as best as I can to be prepared. I just hate the feeling of being unprepared. It's not a feeling that I like to feel personally. It was very discouraging for me, but things happen, and basically my next backup plan was to have my sister go with me, and turns out she was not available. What are you gonna do? So my third backup plan was to have my dad come out with me, because knowing my dad is a bit more open. He's a bit more lenient. When I went to get my tattoo, did not know at first, but within the first few days, he could probably kind of figure that I was doing something that I probably told him that I wasn't doing. My dad was a great person to go with on this trip, and I'm really thankful that I brought him with me. So a bit about the tattoo is that the person on this tattoo, who is it? Is Miyamoto Musashi, who is from the 15th century, who was living during that time period of feudal Japan, and eventually over time became a philosopher. You might know him from his book of The Five Rings, talking about how to live your life, whether that's on stoicism, existentialism, a lot of really deep philosophical way of thinking. Personally for me, my dad is a very philosophical person, and I guess some of that have rubbed off on me. Initially for the tattoo, that person is Miyamoto Musashi, being inspired by him, his outlook on life. The cool thing about an art is that art can mean a lot of things to different people, but even different things to the same person. It can easily as well be Oda Nobunaga himself. It could be Toyotomi Hideyoshi, or it could be Tokugawa Ieyasu, the three great unifiers of Japan. Or another thing is that the person could represent just the person that I aspire to be, right? It could be an older version of me. Another aspect of the tattoo that I wanted to talk about was you'll see these cherry blossoms. I haven't been fortunate enough to check out the cherry blossom, whether in Washington, D.C. or in Japan, but I've heard that they're beautiful. And also, people know that cherry blossom have a short lifespan. And I wanted that to represent the fragility of life being beautiful, amazing, wonderful, but also very short, very fragile. Another aspect of the tattoo is perhaps you'll see this quote on my arm, and the quote goes, "Between heaven and earth, I am the exalted one." And it sounds a little bit egotistical. It sounds cocky. It kind of sounds pretty shitty sometimes, depending on how you look at it. It's a Buddhist quote that maybe some of you guys might be familiar with. A majority of why I love that quote is because it's actually a play on words from one of my animes that I've seen this year, which is Jujutsu Kaisen. The all-time popular character, Gojo Satoru, or Sukuna. Anime and pop culture, the way how it's just being incorporated, it's a beautiful thing. That's one of the main reasons why I got the quote, because I like anime and I love Gojo and I love Jujutsu Kaisen. But going back to the tattoo, my session I had 2 days and they were both 8-hour sessions, around 8 hours. So a total of 16 hours for this tattoo. What? I didn't know that other people don't do that. I was talking with my coworkers and they were just aghast. They were shocked. It was my first tattoo and they would think that I would get something smaller, something to ease into it. But no, I just went full-blown 16 hours. I'll be honest with you guys, I didn't know how long the tattoo was gonna be. I didn't even know that tattoo would hurt. From all the different people that I've reached out to, some of them have said that it's kind of like drawing on your arm. It doesn't hurt that bad. At least that's what I thought. But I tell you what, getting my first tattoo, I would like to say that I had no expectation. I tried to go into it without any expectation or preconceived notion. I just tried to absorb all the information. I remember talking to my tattoo artist, Tommy, and I remember the first 5 minutes telling him, "Oh, it's not that bad." And he chuckles at me and says, "Don't jinx it." And as he's tattooing, maybe an hour in or 2 hours in, I realized, holy cow. This might take a little longer than I expected. Wow, I was sweating bullets. I was doing breathing exercises. I was focused on watching my anime on my phone this close to my face so I could just tune out what was going on my arm. But going back to the tattoo, I told all my coworkers I was getting a tattoo, and a lot of them have tattoos. A lot of them are older than me. When you hang around with certain groups of people, you kind of take bits and pieces from them, and me being around them most of the day, most of the week, working with them, seeing their tattoos, I think it kind of made sense eventually that I would get my own tattoo. So some of the things I decided to consider when going into my tattoo is the pros and the cons, right? So I wanted to talk about this a little bit. One of the pros is it's an added aesthetic, right? Not everyone is gonna get a tattoo, whether that's personal preference, whether that's for religious reason. It depends on the person. I think if you guys like art, definitely consider getting a tattoo, especially if it's meaningful to you or if you like it on your body. But secondly, it's permanent. And I guess this could either go both ways, either a pro or a con, but getting a tattoo is permanent. It shows a level of commitment. And I think that's one of the few things that people, they admire, but also are afraid of, if that makes sense. Now, after talking about the pros, let's talk about the cons. These are reasons why you might not or should not get a tattoo. Getting a tattoo is an added maintenance. If you are a very person who don't like maintenance, don't like to, take care of yourself, definitely don't get a tattoo. There's some added complications health-wise that you have to consider. For example, the healing process of after you get a tattoo, your skin is very vulnerable. I was doing research and I learned that you have to be very delicate with your skin because it is considered an open wound, and basically you can get infections, that's the last thing you want, right? You want to make sure that after paying whatever large sum of money you pay to your tattoo artist, that the art piece, the artwork is in pristine condition, and also you don't damage your body or get an infection. I did not realize during the healing process my skin would get flaky or itchy, and man, the urge to scratch was on the next level. Like, I wanted to scratch so bad, but it's really important that you don't scratch it, otherwise you might mess up the tattoo. One of the things that was able to help me in this process is having a second skin or something like Sanoderm or Texaderm. And basically it allows your skin to breathe, but it's an adhesive that covers the tattoo to prevent it from infection. I definitely have a bigger appreciation for people who get tattooed, but also guys, girls get tattooed. You guys are on another level. You guys like pain. These are some things to consider. This is my own personal experience of me getting a tattoo. If you guys want to hit up a place where I got my tattoo, you see all kinds of amazing artists, different styles that is, being offered at this location, whether that's fine line, whether that's realism. I highly recommend you guys checking out Heartless.ink. Thank you guys for listening if you guys made it this far. I have a deeper appreciation for tattoos. I hope that this helps with your decision of whether you decide to get a tattoo or not. Thank you guys for watching. Like always, if you guys want to support me, like and subscribe, hit that bell notification for more updates on the future, and I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.